I am here. Oh, give me a second. Whoa, 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 whoa. Huh, that was weird. Anyways, let me check my audio to make sure everything is good on there. So, give me just. I just realized I cut myself off a bit. Anyways, greetings, creatures and humans alike. I am MagiQDog, and tonight we are going to be reacting to One Piece Chapter 1100. Woo! Let me turn that off real quick. Yeah, boy, 1100 chapters. My gods. Whew. And we're still not near the ending, my friends. I mean, we are on the last saga, but, you know, we're still nowhere near the ending yet. Anyways, tonight's going to be a pretty good chapter, I believe. And I brought some special occasions. I got me some cookies. And some milk. So while I'm going to be reading the chapters and stuff, I'm going to be munching down a bit, okay? Alright, let's go on ahead and get this started with the cover page. Oh, and the title is Thank You, Bonney. Man, I should have put that down instead of Dear Bonney right there. On that little cloud right there. Love, Daddy. Oh. You know it's going to get real sad real quick. Anyways, let's go with the cover story. We see Usopp just thinking about his three friends, the Usopp Pirates. While Sanji is cooking up some food, Usopp picked up pepper, and we see a little rabbit eating some carrots. Oh, carrot, why didn't you join the Straw Hat? So sad. Anyways, page 1. Let's see. Give me some cookie. Okay, so we see that the young Navy Admiral Osario, who's at this point also known as Kizaru, has showed up to Egghead Island. Of course, with it still being facilitation and stuff. He pretty much tells Vegapunk, I'm not here to chit chat. I am here on official business. By the way, do you know how cold it is? Man, Punk Hazard isn't like this. Yet. Anyways, we pretty much see Vegapunk telling Kizaru, well, just you wait. The future is going to be born right here on this island. After all, my head is just overflowing with many ideas. It's so hard to think straight. You know, maybe I should cut off my head and create 6 other bodies that can help me scramble all these ideas. Ah, man. Hang on just a second. Okay. we did see Kizaru sitting down on a log as he's saying, well, hang on a second. Come on, sister, you are killing me. Okay. Hopefully she doesn't text back. Anyways, we see Kizaru saying, well, that pretty much explained how I missed this. You know, you really should check out every section that you have in this place. You have no idea when the government is going to be watching you. Especially when you're making deals with pirates, you know. Oh, sister, please. Okay. Okay. So, we see that above them, we see a transponder snail just looking down at them. You know, one of those black transponder snails. And Vegapunk is just like, okay, you got me. But, you know, I'm just here doing my job, helping out people. So you can't expect me to not be like this. All the while, we see a Navy ship with a bunch of Navy soldiers. And we even see X-Drake. That is really interesting. So, this is pretty much around 4 years ago, I believe. So he was still in the Navy, so it was very, very recent when he defected and stuff to become a pirate, but not really defected to become a member of Source and perform his duty to go after Kaido. Anyways, page 2. Gonna get me a cookie. Come here, you morsel and delicious treat. My cookie! It fell in the milk. And my sister still texting me. Ooh, Ace, that's interesting. Okay, so this is really interesting. We see him in the lab and stuff where Kuma and Vegapunk were talking before. But we see Kizaru there and stuff, and he brought in a transponder snail that's a pretty good size. And this one's a little bit different. Looks like it's bigger than a normal transponder snail. And his shell's got like 3 spikes on the back, so that's really interesting. Anyways, seems that Saturn is talking to Kuma and Vegapunk about their little deal that they're making. All the while, Kuma's just listening in with kind of sweat rolling down his face. And this is what Saturn is telling them. You know, it is irrelevant if you consider him an ideal candidate, Vegapunk. After all, he is a pirate that is worth 296 million berries. If you can... I know that you probably know about this. Either that you're just arrogant about that, or you just don't care. But either way, making this fugitive a face of our cloning program, there is no way we're going to do that. After all, we have to hold up the Navy's reputation. Yeah, like you got a reputation anyways. However, with that in mind, we do have 3 additional stipulations if you want to honor this deal of yours. First off, Kuma, you must become one of the 7 warlords of the sea. Shikibukai. A few days ago, we found ourselves a member short thanks to a Wookiee named Ace. So that's what I thought was really interesting. Ace took out a warlord. Man, that runs in the family, you know? With Luffy taking out warlords and Ace taking out warlords, ain't that something? Anyways, oh, gotta get back to my Saturn voice. Blah, blah, blah. It has caused a great disturbance in the pirate world. Of course, someone with your power should be a natural choice to fill up that position and calm these wretched seas. Pastry! And another cookie. And this time I'm not going to let it drop in the water. I mean, water, drop it in the milk. It's so good. Okay, so we see the transponder snail telling Kuma, our second condition is for you to become a human weapon of the Navy by undergoing certain procedures. And of course, Kuma is kind of surprised by this, being like, you're talking about modifying my body, right? And we see the transponder snail with Saturn saying, precisely. You already have the traits required to become a great warlord. So for you to become a paragram of fear to the pirate scum all over, you must receive some certain enhancements. And we should see Vegapunk in the background just stung by this. We did see Kizaru pointing down the transponder cell saying, I second that. The Navy would love to have you on our side. And Vegapunk at this point is steaming saying, can it you? But we see Saturn finishing up with his third condition, and we should see him making a grim look. Like, not a grim look like he's being scared or anything, but just giving like a menacing look, you know? Anyways, he says, ah, good point. However, that's not all. After all, you aren't like other pirates. We know of your history with the Revolutionary Army. So if you want to accept our offer, we gotta make some certain precautions to make sure that you never turn your power against us. Which brings us to our third and final condition. That you must agree to give up your free will and your sense of individuality. Dun dun dun. Now then, page 4. And another cookie. Cookie, cookie, cookie. You know what? I'm getting me another cookie while I'm reading this. Oh god, I'm about to cry. I really am about to cry. Anyways, we see Vegapunk throwing his tantrum at Saturn, with him just raging about this. He's telling them, Fate, that would be the same amount to killing him. Is it because none of the other warlords followed your orders? If you snuff out all of humanity left within a cyborg, you're gonna have nothing but a robot. Do you really expect me to murder this man? But, Saturn, you complete and utter trash. We hear him saying, you forget yourself. You are a science to our... a science. Yes, he's a science. You are a scientist to our military. You have no right to talk back. These conditions are going to be met if this criminal wishes to save his own daughter. All the while, we should see Kuma just holding to his face, with sweat running down, while Saturn says, it is a small price to pay, considering how expensive and difficult this procedure is going to be. Other than that, I have no obligations to help this girl. We see the lab in full view as Vegapunk yells out, this is murder! Ooh, sorry. Anyways, he says, this is murder! It would be preserved to modify a human like that? I would never! However, he gets cut off as Kuma tells him, please do it. What? We see him shaking while holding his face, as he says, which completely shocks Vegapunk. And this is the part that's going to make me cry. I've been worrying all this time, thinking that there was no way that I could save Bonney. Oh god, the next page. Hold it in! Hold it in! Okay, next page, and I'm gonna need 3 cookies. Hang on a second, guys. I'm gonna eat these cookies while she's texting me. Night. Love you. Get to bed. Oh god. Okay. Let me finish this cookie, and then I'll tell you the 5th page. Ah, good cookie. We see Kuma crying with a smile as he says, I am so grateful. I will happily accept any offer as long as Bonney is safe. We see Vegapunk shedding tears as he says, Kuma, we see Kizaru just tipping his hat down, being like, oh man, this is too emotional for me. And we should see the transponders now just giving the same look, as I'm pretty sure this bastard is given. All the while, we see Bonney being chased around by Sentomaru as he's reaching out being like, hey, you, wait! While she's just having fun. We come back to the lab as Saturn asks Vegapunk, how long is it going to take to finish Kuma's modifications and to cure his daughter? Page 6. I'm going to need another cookie. Cookie. Oh man, this guy, I really, 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 give me a second, hate him. I really do. Now then, we see the entirety of Egghead Island, which is still Winter Island at this point, as Vegapunk says, well, dealing with the Sapphire Scales is going to take 6 months. But it'll be an extra year on top of that before she's able to step outside and be exposed to natural light. That's going to sum up to about 1.5 years before she's fully cured. Kuma's modifications, however, is going to take 2 years at minimum. All the while we see Kuma holding to his face being like, oh thank goodness. She's really going to be all better by the time she becomes 10. Oh man. But we see the... Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Hang on. Okay. Well, anyways, he's gonna show up in a little bit, but we see Saturn saying, how can we trust you to remain obedient after she's cured, though? After all, she's our only leverage here. But Kuma argues back, saying, I have no intentions of running away. But Saturn says, be that as it may, the world government is going to have to take custody of her once her treatment is completed. Only then she'll be free after you follow through with the erasing of your personality. This blows up Vegapunk as he yells out, but that would mean Kuma won't be able to see his daughter ever again! After she's cured! You're not gonna let them see each other anymore, are you? But we see Saturn being calm as he is, the absolute douchebag right here, as he says, correct. His modification is going to commence immediately. It is going to be an ongoing procedure. And as he starts as he serves his tenant as a warlord and helps the government tame the seas. After his daughter is cured, though, any contact between them is going to be forbidden, to ensure that they never escape. And if I sense any hint of treachery out of any of you, I will guarantee it that she is going to spend the rest of her life as a slave. Page... Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Okay, that was page 6. Page 7! And a cookie. Ah, man, my cookie! Wait, I got 2 of them stuck in the milk now. You son of a biscuit eater. Anyways, after Kuma is shocked to hear this, he then yells out to Saturn, making an absolute promise and wanting one request, as he says, I won't try to see her, I swear, but I only got one request. Please don't tell Bonney the truth about this. She can't know about her illness, about the sapphire scales, or being kept as a hostage because of this. I don't want her to wake up after her surgery to some godforsaken government facility. Please, take her back to the Sorbet Kingdom. You can keep her in my church where she grew up. If you could grant that one request, then I promise you, I won't seek her out, and I'll obey anything without question. Of course, we see Kizaru just looking down, just trying to ignore all this. And we see Saturn thinking about this, but agrees, saying, very well then. We then see Marie-Joie, the whole castle of Pangaea. As Saturn says, it makes no difference to me where she's kept, as long as the government is overseeing her. Looks like we're going to have an interesting 2 years ahead of us, Kuma. That's my demon voice because he's an absolute devil. Wherever he's at in the clouds. Anyways. Page 8. And a cookie. I'm gonna get the cookie first. Because there's a lot of reading here and I can't read. And eat at the same time. Okay, so we see the outside of Egghead again, as we hear Kuma telling Bonney, Bonney, looks like the both of us is going to be here for the next 6 months. Really? I don't know why I did that voice, but we see her jumping up to hug Kuma as he tells her, "That's right. I think I may have come down with something too, so they're gonna need to run some tests on me." We hear her say, "Snap!" Like, oh, snap! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna need 2 cookies after this. We hear her saying, "That means we're gonna be together! Yay! Oh, by the way, this weird guy is sent tomorrow." And we should see him standing there saying, "That is quite rude, young missy." Anyways, it looks like they're exploring around the laboratory and stuff as they see some buildings and lights and all that stuff. And Bonney is just amazed that she says, "Wow, this place has so many windowless rooms? It's crazy!" And we hear Kuma being a worrywart saying, "Yes, but please be careful. There are all sorts of dangerous things around here. I mean, for all we know, there could be a gadget that could create a sword made out of light, for all we know." Anyways, over to Vegapunk. He is at a desk just writing down all kinds of gadgets and ideas and stuff. Pretty much to the point that he's setting his desk on fire while a bunch of assistants are getting all the papers, that way they don't get burned away. All the while he's saying, "That's it. I can create the weapons of my dreams now. Dang it. This brainwave won't stop. Someone needs to write everything down that I'm thinking. If only they could eat and use the toilet for me too. I'll never have to stop. I'm so short-handed. It's crazy. I just had another eureka moment. This is going to keep me as busy as ever. I wish there was 5 more of me." Boy, let me tell you something. If we had the foreshadowing moment. Anyways, page 9. Yeah, page 9. And 2 cookies. Nope, don't need to grab 3, just need to grab 2. Anyways, let me see if I can't read this. Poor Bonney. No, cookies. Well, this one's very short. We have no dialogue whatsoever, so this makes my job a little easier. So, we first see Kuma in the test tube. Not a test tube, but go on one of those scanning machines, like a TC scan. My cookie! That's the 3rd one! We also see Bonney having her surgery, as we see 3 doctors and scientists working around the clock on her. We see Kuma waving to Bonney, who is riding Sentamaru piggy back ride. All the while he's just pointing up like, "Come get your daughter right now!" We did see Bonney drawing a picture of Kuma's head saying "Daddy." We did see some test tubes and stuff with some fluid. We did see the 2 of them sleeping, and oh my god, they're sleeping in the same way. Bonnie's just resting on top of his chest and him just snoring, and the 2 of them got the sleep bubbles. Anyways, we see that the island is being built on more, so that's really interesting. While we see a UMint cargo ship coming in. UMint. Have we heard of that before? I feel like we have, but I can't remember from where. Anyways, we see Kuma lifting up a piece of, like a large pipe and stuff, while Bonney's just riding on for the ride. As we see 2 crewmates just laughing about it. Anyways, page 10. I'm pretty sure we're on page 10. Oh my god. Kizaru, why are you joining in on this? Okay, so continuing on with this montage, we see Bonney just getting ready to eat with her eyes sparkling and stuff. Pretty much like Luffy in a sense. You know, there's been a theory going around that those two may be brothers and sisters. I'm not saying that it's true, but they do share a lot of similarities. Anyways, we also see Kuma, Bonney, Kizaru, Setomaru, Vegapunk, as they are enjoying a huge dinner together with some huge pieces of pizza. Oh man, that actually looks so good. I'm actually drooling myself. Luckily, we're getting pizza tomorrow. Anyways, we also see these two robots. One of them looks like they have like the old boombox headset. And the other one just looks like a wind-up toy. No, not a round-up toy, but their head's kind of cylinder. It looks like they got a large ear. It just makes me think of a toy for some reason. Anyways, we see on that one, it says VP065? It's either 5 or 9. 069. Anyways, we didn't see all 5 of them just enjoying themselves having a good slice of pizza. We did see them having a dancing montage as well. Oh my god, they're doing the Nika dance. Like the dun dun dun, the dun dun dun. Anyways, half a year later, we see Vegapunk checking up on Bonney, pretty much seeing her face and stuff, as he says, okay, the results are good. After a year worth of rehabilitation, you're gonna be completely cured. We didn't see, oh, it's at this point that Kuma is wearing his regular attire now. That's cool. Like his, more modern attire. Anyways, he tells Vegapunk thank you. And we see Bonney saying, yeah, thanks though, man. Once I'm all better, can I come and visit again? And we just see Vegapunk being a sweet guy saying, of course, my dear. Anyways, page 11. And a cookie. You can't forget about the cookie. Okay. So, we didn't see that we are back to the kingdom of Sorbet. And we see the church along with the palace in the distance. As we hear the old people saying, Kumachi, Bonney, it's been so long. That is the 4th cookie I've lost. Wait, no, wait. No, I can't get it. Crap. My cookies. Anyways, are you finally here for good? And we see Bonney running up and saying, yep, they say I'll be all better in a year. Then I'll finally be able to go outside like a regular kid. And we see all the people just being happy about this, being like, is that right? That's fantastic news. You always say you're gonna be fit as a fiddle by the time you turn 10 years old. Well, it looks like that's gonna be true. We then see a certain elderly lady come in, opening the door as she says, "Does this mean I'll finally be taking care of you again, Bonney?" As it turns out to be Queen Dowager Connie of the Sorbet royal family. As Bonney says, "Granny Connie!" And we see her saying, "We will be more than happy to take care of her, Kuma." As the other old people are saying, "Yeah, don't worry, Kuma, you can count on this. We're gonna take care of your daughter, okay? So go do what you gotta do." Got a hiccup. Anyways, on to page 12. I believe. Hang on, I gotta count this again. 1, 2, 3 little page, 4, 5, 6 little page, 7, 8, 9 little page, 10, 11, 12 pages. Okay, I'm on 12. I am on page 12. Oh, Kuma. Huh. She looks like Khalifa a bit. Anyways, we see Kuma telling all of the elderly people and everyone there, "Thank you. I'm gonna leave her in your hands. I'm still a pirate, so I can't stay here for long, otherwise it won't be good for our kingdom." He then picks up Bonney as he tells her, "I don't think I'm gonna be back here for at least a year, Bonney." And she says, "What? That long?" Of course, Kuma says, "Don't worry, I'm gonna write you tons of letters." Of course, it's brightening her up, saying, "Okay." We then see the two continue talking as Kuma says, "The next time I see you, we'll both be able to sail the seas and reach out to the horizon." And we see Bonney happily saying, "I can't wait. I want to travel to all sorts of places with you, together." As we see Kuma saying probably his final lie to her, as he says, "I'd love to take you, but it is mine," he says. "I really would have loved that, Bonney. I really would." We then see this nurse, or this doctor, who looks strikingly familiar to Khalifa, along with two other doctors behind her, as she says, "Please leave the rest to us, Kuma-san." Of course, this got all the other people being like, "Wait, who is that? What is she doing here? And why is she so hot?" Anyways, page 13. Oh, she is a nurse. Anyways, cookie time. I want a cookie. Give me a cookie. I want a cookie. Oh, that's my cookie. Dang it. Ah, come on, you. Let's try this one more time. Anyways, we see her walking in and she says, "I'm a nurse." Oh, wait. Crap, I forgot to read. My bad. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Okay, here we go. We see the nurse just full on walking in as she says, I'm a nurse. Well, Alpha saying this. I'm a nurse. The doctor has ordered me to take care of Bonney during her recovery. I'll be checking her temperature daily, making sure that she takes her medicine, and I'll be monitoring for any changes. By the way, Bonney, my name is Alpha, and it is so nice to meet you. Of course, Bonney just looking at her like, huh? We then see the outside of the church where a crew is creating a building next to the church. All the while, she tells the old people, no suspicious individual is going to be allowed near her during her recovery. So make sure that you remember to bring your identification with you if you plan on visiting. And this pees off the old people as they say, what? That's just a pain. By the way, what's that building that you're building in front of the church? What's that for? Of course, she's like, oh, those are just our accommodations. A place for us to sleep, you know? She then walks over to Kuma while holding up a walk as she tells him, hey, don't forget, a child's life is a very fragile thing. Giving a menacing look while she crunches the rock between her fingers. My God, those are strong fingers. Anyways, we did hear Kuma whispering to her, I understand. I'm not coming back here. We didn't see Kuma giving Bonney a head pat as he tells her, thank you, Bonney. I am so glad that you was born. And we see Bonney saying, really? Daddy, you're embarrassing me. Anyways, page 14. Man, this is a long chapter. Robin! Ooh! Kobe! Okay. So, we see Kuma leaving the church with his hand up saying goodbye everyone, while everyone else is yelling out, take care, Kuma! See ya! Bye-bye! All while this is going on, the narrator comes on saying, the pirates of the world were completely shocked when the infamous tyrant Bartholomew Kuma has suddenly joined those members of the Seven Warlords as an obedient warlord. Boy, I messed that one up good, didn't I? At the same time, we're seeing all of the pirates from all over the world reacting to this news. The first one being Doflamingo, as Sugar holds up the paper as she tells him, young master, seems there's a new warlord. He then looks at it saying like, Kuma the tyrant, huh? Seems like another villain has come into play. Cutting over, we see Robin holding on to the news, because at this point she's still a member of Baroque Works, as she tells Crocodile, so what do you think? Of course Crocodile's like, I couldn't care less. Have you taken care of those idiots who spotted our rainmaking ship yet? Reference to the hidden ship from chapter 212. We did see Mihawk sinking a ship, as he's just looking grim. We did see Alfida looking over to Kobe as she tells him, this Kuma guy looks as big as Whitebeard. Kobe, who do you reckon is stronger? Me or him? And of course Kobe at this time is like, you of course Alfida, son. Sama? Please don't kill me. Anyways, page 15. Okay, so we are now seeing Ace and Whitebeard, along with Teach, who's still an obedient, who's still like a trickery trickster, along with Marco, and surprisingly, Shinbei is joining them. As we see Ace telling Shinbei, so they finally found a replacement. Isn't that great news, Shinbei? But he's like, well, considering the circumstances, you're the last person I expect to say that. I'm still reading about the details about him. Although I must admit, him being a former king, this is on top of the raging king that we already have within our ranks. The pirate world really is changing, huh? The raging king. Who are they talking about? Who are they talking about? I feel like it's one of the commanders in the Whitebeard's crew. But I don't know what. Anyways, cutting over to Boa. She's pretty much like, their business doesn't affect us. I follow no man's orders. After all, I am the most beautiful person in the entire world. And we see Granny Neo. By the way, during Kuma's flashback on God's Valley, I finally realized that Gloriosa was actually Granny Neo. I was completely shocked by that. I did not expect that. I thought it was a brand new person, but no, it turned out to be Granny Neo. So, yeah, she is more powerful than people think. Which, I knew she was strong. After all, she is an Amazonian, and the fact that she was able to land from being thrown by Boa out the window. But still, who knew? Anyway, she's like, Princess, it's essential that you keep track of information like this, Neo. We didn't see Gecko Moria just sleeping on his bed, or lying down on his bed, with Perona, who is actually one of my favorite female characters. As he's like, she. They say he's a pawpaw man, huh? Well, that doesn't sound exactly frightening, now does it? And Perona's like, well, he's already a warlord, so he's gotta be strong enough to make the cut, Moria-sama. We did cut over to Dragon, who's speechless by this. We didn't see Sabo, Koala, and crap, who's the karate fishman that's with them? I want to say Hack. It's Hack. As we see Kuma and Koala just surprised by this, saying, wait, doesn't the warlords answer only to the government? Kuma-san will never work for them. There's gotta be some kind of mistake. Page 16. Oh yeah, one more cookie. I forgot I didn't eat a cookie whenever I was reading on the last one. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? Oh, my milk is full of cookies. What? Okay, so. Oh, that's cute. Kuma's still using his same ship, but he was able to do some upgrades. And the sails, it says Kuma, but it's got a kid drawing of him. I'm guessing he took a Bonney's drawing and made it as a sail. That is really cute. Anyways, we see him riding down while I'm guessing that he sinks some ships that were behind him that were chasing him. As he says, "Dear Bonney, I'm still at sea as I write this. You know, I became quite known, and it's getting harder and harder to sail in these seas in peace. But despite that, I'm doing okay." We see that he's giving the letter to a news coop. As he tells the news coop, it's going to be a long journey to deliver this, so please take care. All the while, we see the letter being sewn as he continues writing. I'm doing my best to find interesting travel destinations for you whenever you turn 10 years old. We then see Kuma watching the news crew fly away, while the letter continues. I hope everyone back home is doing as well as I am. We then see Luffy, with him being 15 years old, running away from an angry tiger as he says, "Oh, I made him, man!" We then see Kuma's ship, looking at Fucha village, while he's getting commands by someone in the government. As he says, "Bartholomew Kuma, come in. You have received new orders from the world government. What is your location?" And we hear Kuma telling him, "I'm in the East Blue. What are my orders?" As we see, that is the end of chapter 1100, with no break next week. So, let's do a review, shall we? This chapter had a lot more than I thought it was going for it. So, we see that Kizaru crash into their little meeting, pretty much telling the two that they're being spied on. We also got to see X-Drake a little bit in this chapter. We did see a transponder cell that Kizaru brought in from St. Saturn, as he tells the two, like, "Yeah, this little deal of yours ain't gonna work unless we do 3 conditions. 1. Kuma becomes a warlord. 2. He becomes a cyborg. And 3. He loses his free will over time." And of course, without hesitation, Kuma accepts this despite Vegapunk not wanting to do this at all. So, however, he isn't going to take this backing down. He says, "I will do these on the condition that you send Bonney back to the Sorbet Kingdom and leave her alone." As Saturn agrees to this, because, you know, he's going to keep an eye on her to make sure that Kuma doesn't backfire on him. Backstab him. That's what I meant to say. I know my words. All the while, we see a little montage of Kuma and Bonney going to do their surgeries and having a great time at Egghead. Oh yeah, we also see that this part inspired Vegapunk to create his 6 satellites. Let's see, what else? Kuma was able to drop off Bonney back to the church, where he's being watched by Granny Connie and everyone else, and also by a cyberpool disguised as a nurse named Alpha, who looks eerily similar to Khalifa. But this is not the case, because we know that Khalifa is at Water 7 being Iceberg Assistance. Well, underneath the guise as Iceberg Assistance. But yeah, so this is very interesting. Anyway, she makes her little threat to Kuma about how she'll end up killing Bonney if he ever comes back, which he says he won't, and he tells her bye. After this, he became known as a warlord, which we got to see Doflamingos, Crocodiles, Mihawk, Alvida, and Kobe's reaction, which I am very surprised by that one. We got to see Jinbei's along with Whitebeard's and the others' reaction to this. We got to see Boa Hancock and Gecko Moria's reaction, along with Piranha-san. Why did I say Piranha-san for her? Anyways, we also got to see Dragon, Sabo, and Koala's reaction to it as well. And at the end of the chapter, we got to see that Kuma is at Fuchsia Village, pretty much just looking out because he knows that Luffy is there. Now that last part kind of surprised me. Which, I know that he was there at Fuchsia Village, but I expected him to be there, you know, I want to say during Luffy's adventure. I didn't expect him to be there after leaving Bonney and stuff and becoming a warlord. Oda is hitting something at this. He is hitting something at this real bad. I mean, he is really, really, really hinting something. Wait. Let's do the math real quick. I know there's a theory. I know what I said earlier about the theory about Luffy and Bonney being brother and sister. But let's just do the math here real quick. Let's see. Bonney is 10 years old during this flashback. Luffy is 15. And we know that Chini got captured 2 years before Bonney was born. So that puts it at 12 years. 12 years. So we have a 3-year gap that we don't know about Chini. Could Chini and Dragon really hooked up and made Luffy? I don't want to say that's true, but the evidence is kind of there. I mean, why would Kuma go all the way to Fuchsia Village and check up on Luffy? I mean, some people will probably say like, well, because he's a dragon's son and all that stuff, so he's probably checking up on him. That may be. But we know for a fact that Kuma, I think at this point, Kuma stopped having contact with Dragon pretty much after agreeing to become a warlord and stuff. And during the surgery, perhaps. Because we even got to see Dragon's reaction to the wanted poster. No, not the wanted poster. To the news about Kuma becoming a warlord. And he was surprised by this. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into this, but it's very interesting. Anyways, enough about me being a conspiracy theorist and all that stuff, because I'm not that. Let's think about what this entails for the future. Well, I believe that Kuma's flashback is definitely going to end by next chapter. I thought it would end at this chapter, but it turns out I'm wrong. We're going to see Bonney probably getting back to trying to fight Saturn and stuff. All that crazy stuff happens. We're probably going to see Luffy getting back up on his feet and getting ready to fight again. And all that. Now, if we're still continuing on with Kuma's flashback before going back to the present, I want to know why he's over there. Because I don't think it's at this point where Kuma knows that Luffy ate the gum fruit, saying it was air citations. I don't think that. I mean, I'm trying to think of the reason that he'll check up on him. like I said, it could be that he's checking up on him because he's a dragon's son and all that stuff. But I just get a feeling that there's more than that. Because after all, him and Sheeny was really close. Way closer than him and Dragon. I just don't know. I just really don't know. Boy, if that really was the case, then poor Kuma. Oh man. He's just getting screwed over by everything going on. Well, I think that's pretty much it. So with that, thank you all for coming on this fantastic reaction stream. I hope you all had as much fun as I did as we got to see Kuma's backstory more. Seeing how him and Bonney became who they are now. And seeing very questionable things that makes you wonder. Anyways, please leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you're able to see all my previous videos and stuff. Check me out on X, that's also where I do my announcements and polls. And check me out on Twitch, that's also where I do my other streaming. And oh yeah, one more thing before I go. I know on my announcement I said that I may quit doing the One Piece episode reactions. But I'll tell you what. I want you guys to decide for me. If I can see at least, I want to say 5 comments in my YouTube channel saying like, please do the One Piece episode reactions, I'll probably consider it. Anyways, with that, I bid the show adieu. So long. See ya. Bye-bye. See you later, alligators. Okay, bye. Now then, time for me to finish up these cookies. Cookie time!